Chapter 7. Back at the castle, the queen was once again consulting her magic mirror, but as she waited calmly for the expected reply, it said instead, "Over the 7 jeweled hills, beyond the 7th fall, in the cottage of the 7 dwarfs, dwells Snow White, fairest one of all." Shocked and outraged, the evil queen realized that she had been tricked. Snow White was still alive. The huntsman had not brought back Snow White's heart in the box, but that of a forest animal. The queen immediately began to plot a way to put an end to Snow White on her own. "I'll go to the dwarf's cottage myself," she muttered, "in a disguise so complete no one will ever suspect it's me." She swept down a flight of stone steps into her deep, dark dungeon. As the queen made her way across the dingy chamber, scurrying rats squealed and ran for cover. Spiders, beetles, and a host of other crawling things crept away at the sight of the evil queen. The only creature that didn't move was the queen's pet raven, who watched her approach with unblinking eyes and an evil expression to match her own. But the queen took no notice of these things. She went straight to her books of black magic and flipped through its pages until she found what she wanted. "Ah," she murmured, "a peddler's disguise. Perfect." She went over to a table cluttered with vials and beakers, filled with all sorts of bubbling, smoking liquids. She selected one beaker and poured a steaming green liquid into a large goblet. "First, some mummy dust, to make me old," she said as she sprinkled a fine gray powder into the glass, "to shroud my clothes, the black of night." She dropped a drop of black liquid. "To age my voice, a drop of crow's blood." Then a ruby red drop was added to the brew. The queen continued mixing her potion until she was satisfied that she had done everything exactly right. When she was finished, she held the goblet before her. The brew bubbled and hissed and spilled over the rim of the glass. She smiled grimly, and then, with one quick motion, she swallowed the foul liquid. As soon as she had done so, the queen clutched her throat as if she were choking. The dungeon seemed to spin crazily around her, and a powerful wind sprang up, rustling her robes and hair as if she were in the midst of a hurricane. The queen moaned as she shook violently and then crumbled over as if a powerful hand were squeezing the youth from her body. And as she quivered in the grips of the magic potion, her lustrous black hair began turning a dingy white, and her smooth face started to fold into hideous wrinkles. Her long, beautiful fingers twisted into claw-like talons, and her elegant robe changed color and shape until it was no more than a faded black rag. Suddenly a flash of brilliant green light filled the dungeon, and when it was gone, a haggard old witch stood in place of the once beautiful queen. She shrieked in both triumph and agony as the awful transformation reached its final stage. The witch glanced in a mirror and cackled. "Yes, a perfect disguise," she croaked, and hobbled over to her book of spells once more. "And now," she hissed, "I must plan a special sort of death for one so fair. What shall it be?" The queen flipped through the pages until she stopped and cried, "Ah, yes, perfect. A poison apple." She read the spell aloud as she gnarled fingers traced the words. "One taste of the poison apple, and the victim's eyes will close forever in the sleeping death." The old hag threw back her head and laughed long and loud, the sound echoing throughout the deep, dark dungeon like the shrieks of 100 black crows.